Om. 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 ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ सर्ववेदान्त सिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. So we are on the topic of the experience. First we did the experiences of the realized master, and then the science of the reality, the benefit, what is the benefit of achieving this oneness, and that is the topic that we are on, verses 419 to 425. And in 424, where we were, there is now another benefit that is being given. अज्ञानहृदयग्रन्थेः विनाशो यद्यशेषतः अनिच्छोर्विषय किं नु प्रवृत्ते कारणं स्वतः. When the knots of ignorance in the heart have been totally destroyed, what natural cause can prompt a man who is averse to sense pleasures to egocentric action? So again, a rhetorical question. The knots of the heart, there are three knots of the heart as given by the Upanishads: avidya, kama, and karma. Knot is something which ties. Na? Suppose if there is a bag and then we want to tie it, so we put a knot on it, so it ties. So that's why these are called as knots of the heart, because they're tying us to this sansar. And the three of them are avidya. The first is ignorance of our own true nature, because of which kama, desire, arises. If I were to know that I am that supreme reality, that knowledge, if I were to have, there wouldn't arise any desire. But the very fact that desire arises in our mind is because of the ignorance of my true self. And desire always prompts us to act. I've always told you, desire precedes action. There has to be some desire behind any action that anybody is doing. Vedanta scriptures say that even a manda buddhi, a foolish person is not going to just act for the sake of acting. There'll be some sort of desire within him. Now what happens is, what is being told, actually even before we saw that once the person realizes himself to be the supreme, himself or herself to be the supreme self, For whom is he going to desire? That was one reason given. For who? Because the ego is now merged. So who is there for whom he would desire? Who are we desiring for? The one who we are desiring for is the ego, always. Because for Atma, we cannot have any desires. So if I recognize myself to be Atma, then this ego is gone. Then who am I going to be desiring for? And then when I see this entire world to be my own reflection, what will I desire? And so another way of putting it is that these knots of the hearts get broken asunder. This is for Mundak Upanishad, this is. So broken asunder means ignorance. Ignorance is the cause. Avidya is the cause, giving rise to desire, giving rise to action. Now the cause only has been taken away. The effects can't manifest. Desire and action are manifesting because of the ignorance. Ignorance is now taken away. So here he's asking a rhetorical question. What cause will be there for a man to prompt into action? Because there is no desire and because there is no ignorance. So it's like, it's the answer is naturally no. Okay, it's a rhetorical question. So that is what he's saying here, because he's giving us all the benefits of attaining that realization. The last line Gurudev has written, the man of realization has no pravritti, as all the possible impulses for actions are dried up in him. Impulse for action is desire. It's pushing us. And the stronger the desire, the stronger will be the action. Intensity of the action will be more. And how is the desire going to be strong? The vasana has to be strong. So as we purify our mind more and more, what happens is even the vasanas, when they get purified, the desires are not, they will arise. They will arise even in a seeker, even in us, but they are not that intense, because the mind is highly purified. And then the mind knows that, okay, this desire is there, it has come in my mind, and okay, I will do this action. But then it is then not that much worried about the result either. Now, Vasana, no, there is no meter here. Vasana anudayo bhoge vairagyasya tad avadihi aham bhavaha udaya abhavaha bodhasya parama avadhihi lina vrattehe anutpattihi maryada uparatestu sa. Maryada uparatestu sa. We'll see what it means. The culmination of dispassion is when the sense objects do not excite any more desire. So vasana anudaya. Anudaya is arising. Udaya, you know, the sun, we say sun, Suryodaya, we say Suryodaya. So sun rises. That way, vasana will arise. Bhoge vairagyasya tad avadihi. So when vasana, I said it the other way. Vasana anudaya. Vasana will not rise. There will be no vasanas when the objects of the world do not excite us anymore. That is vairagya. What is vairagya? Dispassion, I've always told you, is going beyond likes and dislikes. Okay. So when vairagya arises, when we transcend likes and dislikes for the objects. So this first line is in our chart, you know, we have BMI, PFT, OET. So the first line is transcending the OET. The last line in that chart, Gurudev's chart, OET, objects, emotions, thoughts, that is what we have now transcended, or this person has transcended. So there is a lot of vairagya. And because vairagya it is inversely proportional to vasanas. So more vairagya, less vasana. More vasana, less vairagya. That is how it is. Aham bhavaha. So supreme perfection of knowledge is when there is no egoistic feeling. So feeling means we are now at PFT level. You have to imagine the chart. You remember the chart, right? Om, V, BMI, OET, and PFT. No, first PFT and then OET. So first line is transcending OET, objects, emotions, thoughts. The second line, aham bhavaha, udayaha, abhavaha. So as long as there is, when there is supreme perfection of knowledge is when there is no egoistic feeling. So the PFT is transcended. The peak of self withdrawal is reached when the thoughts which have been merged manifest no more. Okay, so the BMI is now merged, the last, because we have to start from the gross and go to the subtle. Mind is subtler than the objects. So when we have vairagya this is for the seekers, the realized master, this talk about a realized master. So a man of realization, because he has gained complete dispassion towards the objects of the world, his vairagya is at a very, very, high level. So the vasanas at a very low level, or rather no vasanas also. So for us, if we develop vairagya towards the objects, and body is included in objects, then the vasanas will be less and less. Aham bhava. So this aham bhava, we think the aham is ego. When I say I, to me, actually what I'm saying is ego. I did this, I did that, I saw this, I saw that. That I is the small I, the ego. But when this ego is, there is no egoistic feeling. So when that aham bhava, which actually aham, remember, is pure consciousness, but right now I'm using aham in terms of my ego. So when I say I feel, I do, I see, whatever that I, so when that is negated, when I come to realize that the aham which I'm talking about is the supreme reality. The man of realization has done this. This is a verse describing a man of realization. Okay, so supreme perfection of knowledge is when that egoistic feeling, means that small I, is completely dissolved. That is what it is. And then the peak of self-withdrawal is reached when the thoughts are completely, means the mind is completely dissolved, means the mind is transcended. My mind intellect is transcended. So because, see in the chart, BMI is the subtlest, okay, in comparison. Of course, body, mind and intellect is subtler than the body, but together, if you take the three lines, BMI is the subtlest, then next is perceiver, feeler, thinker, and the grossest is OET. So the first, it is always easy to tackle the gross than the subtle. So tackle the gross first line for us, for spiritual seekers. We are in the seeking stage. Man of realization has gone through this process. So the world of objects is not exciting him anymore. No desire. Why? Because previously ajnana has been, ignorance has been removed. So there is complete dispassion, which means there is complete annihilation of vasanas. Then the aham bhava, because there are no objects to be desired, that small I is dissolved. For whom? Kasya kamaya. Remember that. Kasya. For whom will he desire? Because there is no small I. All the things that we do is for the small I. That small I is not there anymore. Now, who will he desire for? So he transcends first OET, then PFT, and he has also transcended BMI. Okay. So the mind also. This is what he's saying. Leena vrattehe anupattihi maryada uparatestu sa. Uparati word that is coming from. So self-withdrawal is there. Not only from the gross objects, from his own mind, there is self-withdrawal. Means transcendent. He's transcended the mind. Okay, this is what this is. It's all the same this thing. Okay, so there are some notes I think that I had written 10 years ago, because I have not written this right now. Peak of vairagya is absence of desires. Peak, P-E-A-K. Peak of vairagya is absence of desires. First stage of vairagya is absence of likes and dislikes. Those are my notes from way back. Not every impression is a vasana. Those impressions which cause desires, the non-fulfillment of which creates agitations, is a strong vasana. If you remember, I have always told you that desire is a thought. There will be a desire in our mind. What should be avoided is that desire agitating us constantly. Will I get it? Will I get it? Will I get it? Will this happen? Will this happen? That agitation should not be there. Let the desire be there. Observe the desire. Offer it to the totality. Okay, if this is meant to happen, it will happen. And if it is not agitating you, then understand that the vasana is not that strong. That should be our practice. That whenever a desire arises in our mind, let it not agitate us. Okay, strong vasana will continue to agitate even in the absence of object. So even if that object is not there, the desire is there. It'll keep on. When will I get this? When will this happen? When will this happen? When will that, that constant poking of the mind will be there. If it is there, know that the vasana is strong. So this is for self-analysis. Desire is arising. How disturbed are you? That's why Vedanta, I've always told you, is self-analysis, right? From outside, you might look very calm. I might look very calm, but inside I'm boiling, bubbling. What is this? When is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? Just now, just before the class, we had an incident. The speaker was not working. So was I that much agitated? I only have to decide. Okay, no. Okay, iPad is there. Let's go on the iPad. Then Vinita told Ramesh, and he said, oh, sometimes just switch the computer off. Okay, fine. Let's try. I said, okay, if it doesn't come at first try, I'm going back to the iPad. And it came. So that agitation is what is determining the strength of the vasana. If there is no agitation, then know that the vasana is not that strong. Okay. Weak vasana will not create agitations. Desire will be there. If not fulfilled, it will not continue to bother you. So there is a desire. It didn't get fulfilled. Okay, fine. That's fine. Move on. All right. Okay. Any questions? All right. Now we go into a topic, signs of a realized seer, which and I think some of us have already done chapter 2, chapter 12, and chapter 14 of the Bhagavad Gita, where he gave Sthita Prajna Lakshana, then he gave Bhakta Lakshana, and he gave a Gunatita Purusha Lakshana. All those three chapters giving these characters, the characteristics were the same, but the methods of reaching were different. Here now, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is giving us the signs once again as a reminder. So you will, if you remember Bhagavad Gita, you will see the similarities, because you see, because no matter how you reach, once you reach, it's all the same. It's exactly the same. One person may have reached through bhakti, one through knowledge, one through karma, transcending the gunas. But once they reach the goal, they will exhibit the same. There's only one. That's why. So now you'll see a lot of similarities and similar words that you have heard from 426 to 445. Brahmakarataya sada sthitataya nirmukta bahyarthadihi anya vedita bhogya bhoga kalano nidraluvad balavat swapna lokita lokavat jagadidam pashyan kvachit labdhadihi आस्ते कश्चिदनंत पुण्य फल भुग्धन्य सामान्यो भुवि. On account of constant absorption in Brahman, freed from the sense of reality of external objects, only seemingly enjoying them when offered by others, like one sleepy or like a baby, perceiving the world as one seen in a dream and recognizing it only now and then, such a man is indeed rare. Such a man is indeed rare. Such a man is a man of realization. Men of realization are very rare because this path is very, very difficult. And Bhagwan himself, Sri Krishna, has said in chapter 7, out of the thousands and thousands who aspire to gain me, one may come to me. One may come to me. Not even one comes to me. One may come to me. That's why it's very, very rare. Now, once he has attained Brahman, so this person has Brahma Karataya Sadasthitataya. You know, when this is what I've always told you about Raman Maharshi. He experienced that bliss when he was 16. I don't know how long, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I also explained to you that's why Brahmavit. Once he became a Brahmavit at 16, you know, when you experience that sort of, this mine is only theory, I'm not explaining, but this is what they say. It is like so much, like, what can I say? It's like you will immediately get addicted to it. If you experience it even for a few seconds or a few minutes, you will want to go back to it, because that is Paramananda Prapti. It is Parama Ananda Prapti. Now imagine if you get that Parama Ananda Prapti, even for 5 minutes. That's exactly what happened to Raman Maharshi. He got it, he just dropped everything and he left. And then he went and sat behind the temple and he just wanted to be there. A place of just bliss, an ocean of bliss. You know, everywhere there is just happiness, 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 happiness. This is what it is. Okay, so freed from the sense of reality of it. Why? Because he has woken up from the waking state into Turiya. Now the waking state only has become like a dream. Imagine us waking from dream into waking. We can imagine that because we are going through that maybe every other night, every night. So when you wake up, you think, oh, that. Now, how do you look at the dream? Are you afraid? Are you happy? Whatever that you felt in that dream, you know it's an illusion. Now he has woken up to the 4th stage of Turiya. So this whole world is only appearing like an illusion for him. Okay. So only seeming. So what has happened is he understood this to be an illusion, but he's living in the world. He continues to live in the world. Like if you take Raman Maharshi, then, you know, his leading disciple found him, brought him out of there. So then he continued to, then they gave him food, he ate. So he's given this Nidralu Vat Balavat. Both these words were used in Bhajagovindam by Bhagwan Shankaracharya. He said that he is a person, a realized master, they say, have their eyes like half closed. You know, half closed, not fully open. We are fully open because, you know, we are extroverted. So we want to look at the outside world, which we think is very real. But why are they half closed? Half closed means what? Means they know this is an illusion, you know, and then most of their attention is inside. That is the reality. Inside, what I experience is real. Outside, what I see is a dream. So, you know, not like, oh, you know, with full blown lotus eye, like, you know, like they don't. So that's why, like, sleepy. Not that he's tamas. Huh? Now here, remember, it is nidralu what? Not nidralu. We are nidralu. We are sleeping only, but like a person sleeping. He's not actually sleeping. He's actually extremely alert. But now he's seeing an illusion out there. So or like a baby, they give Balavat, they give example because, you know, small babies, you can just immediately they're crying. You divert their attention, they forget what happened in the previous second. So the realized master is living moment to moment. What we do is we carry the past with us. He didn't smile at me last time. I won't now. I won't say hello. We carry it. Or anything, you know, he did this wrong to me, you know, we carry, they don't. A baby never carries anything with him. Small baby, if you've seen, 1 year old, 2 years old, they cry, they fall, and then you get up and then you say, oh, see the car, see the bus, see the this is forgotten previous minute that he fell. We will never forget, especially if somebody tripped us. You tripped me. For the rest of my life, I'm going to remember that. That's why they are compared to a baby, the realized masters, that they live for the moment, in the moment. Previous moment is gone, forgotten, finished, gone. Moment. That's why they say that living in the present is like living in the present. In the present is the presence of Brahman. So if you live in the present, that's why even Gurudev has said, keep your mind where your hands are. Our mind is constantly wandering. That's why these two are given. Sleepy, like a person not completely sleeping, but knowing that this is an illusion. So why should I be so much alert to this world, which is just a dream? It's an illusion. So I'm not that much alert to it. The realized master. I am, but they are not. Perceiving the world as one seen in a dream, because now he has woken up from the waking state. So this whole thing is he knows. That's why I've told you, Mandukya Upanishad says this is a dirgha swapna. We are in this long drawn out dream. All of us are dreaming. That's why we think, all of us think this is real, because we are all in the dream. That's why. If one wakes up, he will know that this is all dream. Okay. And recognizing it only now and then. Only now and then means what? When necessary, when asked. See, in Sthita Prajna Lakshana, there was a question by Arjun, how does he talk? Right? So how does he talk? There are two things. One is he himself can go out and talk, and one is when people come to him and he will talk. Communication will happen this way. No, either I will only pick up the phone because I want to talk to somebody, or somebody else might phone me or come to my doorstep or this thing. So now and then is when somebody comes, he will talk. He will talk. He will give advice. There is a question, he will answer the question. All that. But on his own, he will not initiate anything. If he's invited to talk somewhere, he will go and talk. Now, people, like Raman Maharshi, all, they never went anywhere. They said, no, you want to meet me, you come here. I am not going anywhere, right? But there are other masters, Gurudev was there, Swami Vivekananda, they went out and they spoke, but they were told to speak. So that's why this now and then means if somebody approaches him, definitely he will talk. He will not say, oh, we are in a dream, you are in a dream. He will not say things like that. He will answer questions. That's why now and then. Such a man is indeed rare. It's rare, I told you, because it's very, very difficult. And because we are very extroverted, because the senses are very extroverted, reason, another, we give reality to the world, because we see, we perceive the world, we can touch, taste, smell the world. So we think that is what is real. That is why. So that's why the whole thinking has to reverse. It has to reverse. That's why it becomes very, very rare. And the path is very difficult. Okay. All right. And now from the next verse, Shankara attempts to give us the hallmarks of a man of perfection. I had told you even when we studied Bhagavad Gita that Bhagwan told us the characteristics of the man of realization so that we imitate. That is our goal. That should be our sadhana to reach there. So in the beginning stages, we can even, force ourselves to be like that. Taking the help of the knowledge. Take the help, take the support of the knowledge and force yourself to be like that. Then one day you might just become like that. As you think, so shall you become. Now here he will, from the next verse onwards, the last part will be repeated, but here let's see. Sthita prajno yati rayam yaha sadanandamashnute brahmanneva vilinatma nirvikaro vinishkriyaha. That man of steady wisdom, Sthita Prajna, word taken from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2. Bhagavan Shankaracharya here has lifted that word. That man of steady wisdom, having merged himself in Brahman, enjoys everlasting bliss without modification or activity. Sthita prajna. Prajna coming from prajna, intellect. Sthita, steadfast. He's steadfast not in his intellect. His intellect is steadfast in Brahman. That is how sthita prajna is. This word we have heard many times in chapter 2. Arjun coined this word there. Bhagwan had not used this word, and Arjun coined it and says, what are the lakshanas, what are the characteristics of a sthita prajna? So here the sthita prajna word is being used. Sada anandam ashnute. Sada, everlasting bliss now he got, because he recognized himself to be Brahman. Parama Ananda Prapti is moksha. So Parama Anand, supreme, there's nothing beyond that. And it is a point of no return. So Parama Ananda he got. Having merged himself in Brahman, the one who knows Brahman becomes Brahman. That's what it is. You cannot know Brahman. You cannot know Brahman with your senses, because then you have objectified Brahman. To know Brahman is to become Brahman. You are Brahman. That is the recognition that we have to recognize ourselves to be Brahman. Right now, I recognize myself to be the body, mind, and intellect, but I need to recognize, to understand, to realize that I am Brahman. Once he has done that, he enjoys he's like, it is like Bhagwan has given us of that pot, I told you, a pot full of water immersed in the ocean. So inside bliss, outside bliss, upwards bliss, downwards bliss is just in that ocean of bliss. Without modification or activity, what activity is going to do now? All activities for happiness. He is immersed in that happiness. Will he do? He'll modify. Will he do any kind of karma? Is there? There is karma and kriya. I told you this long time back, so we'll just revise it. Karma is activity plus instrument plus doership. There's doership in karma. That's why that karma needs to be converted into karma yoga to negate the doership. Kriya is activity plus instrument. There's no doership. I've given you examples. You sit on the phone and there's a book in front of you. You'll keep coloring the O's or the zeros, or you just go on play. You're in the phone and then, oh, okay. It doesn't mean anything. It's that is kriya. That's why in Sanskrit we have that difference: kriya and karma, then karma yoga. And this one, when I realize myself to be that Brahman, to be that, then doership is completely merged. So whatever he does. Okay, this is what he's saying. Now we go next. Brahmatmano shodhitayorekah ekabhavavagahini nirvikalpa cha chinmatra vritti pradneti kathyate susthita sa bhavedyasya sthita pradnyasya uchyate. The last three words, sthita pradnyasya uchyate. He is called a sthita pradnya. This now will be repeated. Now, who will be called a sthita prajna? Bhagwan is explaining. The sort of mental activity which admits only the identity of the self and Brahman, free from all limitations and devoid of duality, which is only concerned with pure knowledge, is called the illumination. One who has the steady illumination is known as a man of steady wisdom. So what is illumination? What is knowledge? What is this knowledge with the capital K that we are talking? There is knowledge of the external world, which is actually knowledge with a small k. So you have knowledge of physics and chemistry, math, everything, world, etc., etc. But this knowledge, so that mind, or because that sort of mental activity means that mind, it only recognizes itself to be Brahman. Right now, what is our mind recognizing? I'm body, I'm a female, I'm 5'4", I'm a mother of this thing, I'm this thing, I'm talking, I'm this thing. Our mind is in this matter equipment, tied up in matter equipment. So his mind is now only, I'm Brahman, I am. That sort of mental activity he only has. And of course, then he's free from all limited. Right now, we are limited. When I say 5'4", I'm here, I'm not there. I can only see you. I cannot see, I'm not anywhere else. So we are limitation is space, time, and objects. I've told you that. The limitation is because of space, time, and object. I know that I was born on such a day, and then such and such day will be my dead day. I'm here, so limitation of space. I'm here, I'm not in India, I'm not even in my bedroom, so that is a limitation of space. Objects, I am here, so there is no other object here, so there's a limitation of object. These limitations he doesn't have. He has transcended them. He has broken the walls. Now he's like space. If you give the space example, the space feels limited. Oh, I'm the den space, and I'm the kitchen space, and I am the hall space. But now the walls are broken. So there is no limitation to the same. Therefore, free from all limit and devoid of duality, because it's the all-pervading Brahman. So there is no duality. When the limitations are broken, there is no duality. See, if I break this wall, there won't be any duality between this room and the next room. And the walls are broken for him. So there cannot be. Why is there duality for us? Because I think I'm only this much. Then of course, if I'm this much, then you are only that much, and you are different from me. If I break this body, break means not physically break, but if I transcend the body, then automatically I will transcend your body also. Recognizing yourself to be the self is only our job. We don't have to bother recognizing everybody else. It will automatically come. It is like pinching just one grain of rice in that whole pot of rice. You know that the whole pot of rice is cooked. You're not going to be pinching every single grain of rice. That way, you recognize yourself to be the self. Immediately, everything else will fall in place. That's why it will be devoid of duality immediately, which is only concerned with pure knowledge. That is what illumination is. This is what he's saying. What is that we say man of realization? What is that realization? What is that illumination? Now he's explaining. Where the mind only thinks, revels only in Brahman, where it is free from all limitations and all duality, which is automatically following. It is not like I realize myself to be the self, then all the limitations fall off, then all the dual. It is not like then it's not like a domino effect. It is at one yugapat, it will happen. Yugapat is a word that is used very much by Bhagavan Shankaracharya in his commentaries. Simultaneously, you recognize yourself to be that Brahman. Everything simultaneously will happen. There will be no limitation. There will be no duality. The entire world will appear as an illusion. Immediately it will happen. Simultaneously it will happen. It is not then this will happen, then this. It is nothing like then. Okay, it's not a domino effect. They're saying this is illumination. One who is thus illumined is a Sthita Prajna. He's defined Sthita Prajna now for us. Okay. Yasya sthita bhavet prajna, yasyanando nirantaraha, prapancho vismrita prayaha, sajivan mukta ishate. He who has steady wisdom, who experiences endless bliss, who has forgotten the phenomenal world, he is considered a Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta and Sthita Prajna, synonyms, is the same. Jivan Mukta, living while, liberated while living. Right now, right here and now, which is possible. That is what Bhagavan has always said, Bhagavan Shankaracharya. That Jivan Mukta is here and now, it is possible, and that is what we must aim for, not for Videha Mukti or Krama Mukti or any such thing. So who is a Jivan Mukta or who is a Sthita Prajna? Same. Who has that steady wisdom? Yasya Sthita Bhavet Prajna. Sthita, steady in that Prajna. Prajna, that I am the Brahman. I am Brahman. And then Yasya Ananda Nirantara, without a break. Without a break, we are also experiencing happiness, okay? But it has a lot of breaks in them. We all know that, right? We are happy one day, the next day something goes wrong or something doesn't happen as per how we wanted it, we become unhappy. So ours is a broken happiness. His is a nira antara, means no break. No break. Like the pot of water in the, is there a break in that water, ocean water? No, it's constantly, it's there. This prapancha word, prapancha, pancha is 5. Prapancha is this 5 senses which are taking us outward into the world. Therefore, prapancha means sansara. Why is the samsara created? Why is this world created? Because of our 5 senses. Because we see, hear, touch, taste, and smell, and then we think that all is real, and that is what is going to give me happiness, and that is what sansara is. That's why it's called prapancha. Prakarshan. These are the five organs of action, 5 sense organs. They bring in the stimulus, and then the 5 organs of action are going out and acting, because the mind is thinking that that is where the happiness is. That's why prapancha. So vismrita prayaha, he's forgotten because his senses are not going out anywhere. They are not running helter-skelter. The mind is sthita now, steady, steadfast in that wisdom. It will never shake. Gurudev's example, this person is now a person who is holding on to the lighthouse. He will never shake. No matter how many waves come and what happens, he is now holding on to the lighthouse. He cannot shake. The one who is holding on to a log of wood, which we are doing, we are holding on to the world, log of wood, we are going up and down constantly. So Sthita Prajna is one who is holding on to the lighthouse. What is the lighthouse here? Brahman. Okay. So a Jivan Mukta definition, I have written here 4 pointers. No identification with body. No projection of likes and dislikes on the world. No joys, and therefore no joy and no sorrow, because there's no projection of likes and dislikes, right? And 4th is no creation of vasanas due to actions being selfless. These are all my notes from 10 years ago, because I have not opened this book in last 10, 12 years. So when this is not what I've written right now. These were written previously. Okay. So because there is no identification with the body, because this is all, these are following. So no identification with body, therefore no projection of likes. If there is no project, so this is something we can practice. That is why I'm telling you, we can practice. Okay, we are identified with our body. Okay, fine, because that is, very difficult. But can we stop projecting likes and dislikes on the world? At least can we try? Now that we have so much knowledge under our belt, right? So much Bhagavad Gita we have. That's why we need the repetition, a reminder. Okay, so if I don't project like and dislike, then there will not be joy and sorrow, because joy is coming by getting the thing that I like, and sorrow is coming by not getting the thing that I like. Now this like and dislike projection only I have withdrawn or toned down. Let's tone it down, because suddenly withdrawal is not possible. If we tone that down, the joy and sorrow level also will be toned down, right? And then what happens is, suppose that, that's why we saw previously, that desire will arise, but there is not a projection of like and dislike, joy and sorrow. So it will not be an intense desire. So if the desire is not intense, the result will not create that sort of agitation in our mind. Agitation, I told you, is both. Like if I get somewhere, getting very overly excited also is agitation as per Vedanta. Agitation is movement. Agitation, because when I use the word agitation, it is normally, in normal parlance, it is associated with sorrow. If I say I'm very agitated today, then you'll ask me, oh, what went wrong in the day? Am I right? Normally, but in Vedanta, agitation means movement. So even if I'm happy, my mind is dancing up and down. It is agitated. It is agitated because there is no movement in Brahman. Please understand, there is no movement whatsoever in Brahman, in the highest reality. So when my mind moves, whether it is moving because of joy, whether it is moving because of sorrow, it is an agitation as per Vedanta. Okay? All right. Leena dhirapi jagarti jagrad dharma vivarjitaha bodho nirvasano yasya sajivan mukta ishyate. He who has merged himself in Brahman, yet is alert, but without the characteristics of wakefulness, whose knowledge is free from desire, he is considered a Jivan Mukta. So who is considered as a Jivan Mukta? Lean, whose intellect is merged in Om, first line Gurudev is saying, means his Sthita Prajna. So that's why this Jagrat Dharma, Jagrat Avastha is there, but Jagrat Dharma is not there. What is the Jagrat Dharma for us? That is the 4 pointers that I told you. There is identification with body. You see, Jagrat is waking state. Okay. If you take the 3 states, waking, dream, and deep sleep. If we take the deep sleep state, we are not aware of our body. We are not aware of our worries at the mind level. We are not aware of all the happiness also. Maybe some nice good thing has happened in my life. Once I go to sleep, I don't know that. Okay, so deep sleep is where there is absolutely no awareness of anything. I'm a king, I'm a beggar, I'm a woman, I'm a man, I'm a worried person, I'm a happy person. There is no awareness. Dream is you are in an illusion which you think is real, but when you wake up, you will know it to be an illusion. Now, what is the waking state? Waking state is where I'm completely identified with my body. Why? Because I know exactly who I am. I'm a woman. In my waking state, will I think or say that I'm a man? No. So there is complete identification with the body, because of which there is a projection of likes and body identification is there, world is real, projection is there. Because of the projection of likes and dislikes, joys and sorrows are there. So these characteristics are called as Jagrat Dharma. These are the characteristics of the waking state. Okay, so waking state is characterized by identification with the body, projecting likes and dislikes into the world, onto the world, and then having joys and sorrows because of that, and then creating vasanas. Because I have joy and sorrow, I'm acting for my desires, egocentric desires, so I'm creating vasanas. So the man of realization is one who is in the waking state, but he is not following the Jagrat Dharma. He's awake, he's alert. But the Jagrat Dharma he's not following. So which means that's what is meant. No identification with the body, no projection of likes and dislikes, no joys and sorrows, and therefore no creation of more vasanas. Now we can practice this. As tapas, we can do it. Okay, that is what a Jivan Mukta is. This is what Bhagavan is telling us. शांत संसार कलनः कलामानपि निष्कलः यस्य चित्तं विनिश्चिन्तं सजीवन मुक्त इष्यते. He whose concern about the world has been stilled, who has a body consisting of parts yet is without parts, whose mind is free from anxiety, he is considered a Jivan Mukta. He whose concern about the world has been stilled. Why? Is it because he doesn't care? Who cares? I don't care what. No, because the world is appearing as a dream to him. How much worry will I have for the robbery that happened in my house in my dream? Will not, once I wake up, that time I would be very agitated in the dream, thinking that the dream is real, thinking that, oh, I walked into my house. Oh my God, my house is all ransacked and things are missing. Now I wake up. Will not my mind be stilled towards that robbery that happened in my dream? Or will it still be agitated? Will I still be looking? Did what did I lose? This, that? No, that's why it is still. Not out of a not caring. That should be understood, because you see, we can mistake and oh, who cares what happens in the world? It's not like that. It's not like that. Okay. So the world has been stilled. Who has a body consisting of parts, means people can see the body, because I told you, Jivan Mukta doesn't suddenly, the body doesn't suddenly die. Karma, Sanchita and Agami karma go, but Prarabdha karma remains. It is extremely strong. Even when we realize Prarabdha karma can only go with exhausting it. By exhausting the Prarabdha karma means what? Means the body has to have some disease. That disease has to be taken on. But the Sthita Prajna, the Jivan Mukta, he says, my body has got this disease. Whereas what we will say, oh, I got this disease. Now I'm very agitated. That's the difference. So he says it is with parts, but he knows that this also is an illusion. The body, my house is with many rooms, but once I recognize that it is only space and this is only Upadhi, then I know that it is all one space only. It is not different spaces. So without parts, whose mind is free from anxiety, what will he be anxious about? When is my meal going to come? What will happen to me tomorrow? What does he pray? How can it be? Right? How can he have any kind of thing? I've given you examples of Tapon Maharaj wandering alone in the Himalayas, Raman Maharshi just sitting there. Was he worried? Oh my God, will somebody bring me food and what? No, because he has transcended pranas. So no hunger, no thirst. Why would I need food and water? It's transcended. That's why he has no anxieties. Nothing. When will my next meal come from? Nothing. No, we are full of anxiety. He is considered, that person is considered. So what we can do practice here is, the world has been still, the concern about the world. So still means we can remain calm at least. For us, we can remain, in Marathi, Sant Tukaram, one of our Bhakta, great devotees, he said, Tuka mane ugi rahave je je hote te te pahave. So Tuka is Tukaram, he's talking about himself, Tuka mane. So Tukaram says, Ugi rahave. Ugi is in Marathi means keep quiet. Ugi rahave. Je je hote te te pahave means whatever is happening, you just watch. Keep quiet and keep watching the drama that is going on. This is a very, very, important instruction that he is given. That watch. Why? Because you see, it's a drama. It is a leela. Bhagwan's leela is going on. So you keep quiet and watch. I've always told you, you keep quiet and watch. If you are able to help in that situation, please go ahead and help. I'm not saying keep quiet means, don't do anything. No, if you're not able to, okay, that's fine too. That's fine too. Somebody else will come and help. Are you capable of helping? Are you capable of giving time? Are you capable of giving money? Are you capable of giving advice? See what you're capable of. Do, but don't get agitated. That is what we need to do. Stay still and then see what is going on. And it's consisting, yes, body is consisting of parts. Yes, do take care of the body, but know that it is not take care of the body. I told you this, take care of the body so that I can do my sadhana. I can do meditation. I can do my puja. I can serve others. I can serve the world. World has to be considered as a karma bhumi, not as a bhoga bhumi. Not I want to remain young so I can, because we have the story of the king also who wanted to remain young. He took the youth of his own son and lived for another 100 years and indulged. And after that, he said, oh my God, this is never finishing only, because the desire is not going away only. Then he realizes, oh. So when we have heard these stories, let us try to follow that. Okay. But whose mind is free. And I told anxiety, that is the best thing that works for me. If it is meant to be, it will be. It will come. I had told you the story. I've just got a few minutes. We'll take the next one next time. But I told you the story. I dropped my driver's license on the way on this thing. I think you guys remember. And I went back and I found it. Okay, I did the same thing again. I knew exactly where I dropped it. I knew why I dropped it. I took the license with my cell phone in my cell phone purse, and I pulled the phone out for a very good reason. My friend is not well, so I thought, oh, I should call her while I'm walking. When I pulled the phone out, the license came out and it fell. So I knew where it had fallen. I came home, I realized that my license was. I took the car, praying to God, oh Lord, please don't let the police catch me, no license. I went there, parked the car. I walked that whole stretch twice. I didn't see it. I came home and I said, okay, appointment with ICBC, which was after 2 weeks. I thought, oh my God, what is this? So anyway, next day I just went in as a walk-in. In my heart of hearts, I thought that my address is on the license. Whoever sees it, because there are a lot of people walking there, all they have to do is put it in the mailbox. I had that faith, I said, I actually have found credit cards and I went and returned them to the 2 banks. And I thought, oh Lord, see, I returned. So somebody should return my license. They don't have to put postage. They don't have to buy anything. Just physically drop it into the mailbox. It'll come to me. But in the mail, it'll take 2-3 days. And I had appointments. I needed the car. So I said, anyway, I have to go replace it. So I went to ICBC and they very nicely, that girl said to me, your license is expiring in February. You can renew it 6 months prior. We'll just renew the license. I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord. Because now again, I don't have to go. So I renewed my license. She gave me a temporary license, my care card also. She said, you have to surrender. I said, okay, no problem. Blah, blah, blue, blue. This happened on Thursday. Friday, I went and got my temporary license. Tuesday, there is an envelope in just my name, no postage, no from where. I thought, what is this? My license. Have no anxiety. If it is going, so I thought, oh, now I don't have to surrender. I can keep it as a souvenir because now it's actually canceled, that one, right? Faith. Have faith in the goodness of people, and when you are, so I was not, it didn't create anxiety. Only things I said, of course, my daughter, I told you my daughter's very, she says, Mom, in the last 40 years, how many years have you been pulled over? Just go driving for 2 weeks without license. I said, no, that is something you can do that maybe, but I can't. I said, no. Because I thought they were not accepting walk-ins, but they were. So I got up early in the morning and I went. They said 8:30 to 10 walk-ins. I said, fine, I can go at 8 o'clock. That is in my hands. That tapas I can do. Go stand in line and everything I did. So have faith and don't be anxious. If it is going to come, it is going to come. I thought it's going to cost me money to replace. But then she said, you have to just renew, which I would have done in February anyways. So all's well. I thought I must tell you the story. My God, next time I have to be careful with my license. So anyway, any questions? All will be good. I was just telling Vinita just before we started, we will be completing this book but definitely before June next year. Okay, so hang in there.
The one point that today's takeaway for me, have faith in the goodness of people. It's absolutely very reverberating thought. It's a great, brilliant thought too.
We have to, yeah, have faith. So, okay, so we shall close now. We'll meet next Friday. There is class. Yeah, next Friday. Monday, there is no class. Diwali, right? Monday, there is no class. Okay, so, but Friday, there's a class and Sunday, there is a class as well. All right. Om swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalini desho yam kshobarahita brahmana santu nirbhayaha. Om sarvesham swasti bhavatu sarvesham shantir bhavatu sarvesham purnam bhavatu sarvesham mangalam bhavatu sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kashchid dukha bhag bhavet. Om asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om purnamadav purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva avashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Okay, Hari Om everybody.